Hi there, my name's Mark, the DM for Curse of Strahd as presented by Hidden Realms. The following was recorded live on Twitch, then broken down into 1-hour segments for your viewing pleasure. If you wish to catch us live, you can do so every Saturday evening at 7 PM BST. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so, hello everyone, and welcome to the mystery adventure that has been somewhat hinted at over the past week, and I can quite excitedly reveal that the adventure is the one and only legendary Curse of Strahd. One more time from the top. We have Ralph Whiteley.
Hey, I'm Ralph, and I am playing a human paladin named Roderick Delacour.
Wonderful stuff. We have Antonio Cazar.
Hello, I'm playing a kobold rogue type called Jack.
Rogue type is an accurate description.
Yes.
Next up, we have Lawrence Gray.
Hi, I'm Lawrence, and I'm playing a Drow Goliath barbarian.
And a very interesting one at that.
Yeah. Very
Fourth,
strange.
we have Nin.
Hi, I'm Nin, and I'm playing a character called Fane.
Much mystery to this character, might I add. And last, but certainly not least, we have Joshua McGregor.
Hello, everybody. I am playing a changeling named Rook. I'm actually playing a human bard by the name of Breenlad Garrickson.
Very nicely done. There we go. So, you shall hear this lovely, nice calm music, a nice chill, because you know what? Everything's fine. Everything is good.
Everything is.
Yes, you just
I'll
took
enjoy
down
it.
roll 20. I did. I'm loading it up again.
Wonderful. So, all of you know each other to varying degrees, but you've all met previously. You all answered the call of Duchess Morwen of Daggerford, and for the past few months, you have come to the aid of her domain, the town of Daggerford, several times. There were many more adventurers than just yourselves that answered this call, but many found it too much to handle and either, well, unfortunately met an untimely end or left. However, you have all played your part, and you have helped her greatly. And as such, she is having you for dinner. You've been invited. You are absolutely no strangers to this time. There's a cool autumn breeze which blows through the streets as you make your way to the keep. As you dine on hot spicy soup and tenderly cooked pheasant, you can tell that the Duchess seems more out of sorts than usual. Then a pall comes over the occasion as she voices her concern, in somewhat of a hushed tone to each of you, about a band of wayward travellers that have camped themselves outside the town's walls. They seem totally harmless at first, but Morwen has received reports that they have begun harassing townfolks and other visitors as they come and go. They've been demanding money and wine and, strangely, threatening to put hexes on anyone who doesn't pay up. Yesterday, the Duchess ordered several guards to scare away the mysterious visitors, but they couldn't get the job done. When the guards returned, they spoke sympathetically about the visitors. It almost seemed as though the guards had been charmed. Morwen doesn't want armed conflict. She's had enough of that. But she aims to send a stern message to the visitors and asks you all to deliver it on her behalf. If they don't leave before dawn, she says, I'll burn their wagons to the ground.
How many are there?
Well, Well, we're not really sure of an exact number, but a dozen at least from reports.
Okay, and how many guards have we or you lost?
Oh, I just sent a small detail of maybe 4 guards, I believe.
Okay.
So all that you wish for His Greatness Roderick Delacour to do is to deliver this ultimatum to these visitors?
Well, yes, of course. I merely just want them to be on their way and leave us at peace. We've had enough fighting these last few months, and it's time for some rest.
You've got to kind of imagine that I'm hunched in this tiny chair trying to eat this soup with a spork. It's just not working very well. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do it.
I look to Roderick. I am his Batman. I am his servant, as it were. I look over at Roderick to see what he decides to do.
Roderick is staring deeply into his bowl of spicy soup, and he's deep in thought. And my lady, my word is my bond. I will take care of these ruffians, whether it comes with blood shed or not. And thumps it down as the spoon lands back into the soup and splops everywhere.
She takes one of those like fabric fans, and oh, Roderick, ever the reliable one that you are.
He brushes his moustache sensually towards her.
I pick up my viol and begin playing sensual music.
She continues just sort of slowly fanning herself, just staring suggestively at Roderick. Seems to almost go into a bit of a daydream.
I give him bardic inspiration.
Yes, bruv. Yes, mate. Was it 1d4 at this level? Yes, mate.
1d6.
1d6! Come on!
Yeah, baby.
I want to raise an eyebrow and give a little wink.
Give me just a straight charisma check.
Oh, bruv, you know this.
I'm just like, what on earth is going on here?
Can I be giving him the health action with my music?
Yeah.
Do it with advantage.
Oh, mate.
With advantage.
18 with my bardic inspiration as well.
Beautiful. So she, after just sort of sitting, slowly fanning herself, staring at you, she sort of reaches a hand across and just gently strokes the top of your hand, and she leans forward and she just sort of quietly whispers to you, "When you return, there may be a little more of a reward for you than the rest." And she's
Rodney, I think you're in.
My lady, with my sword I shall vanquish these foes, and with my sword later, I shall vanquish something else.
oh, Roderick. Oh my.
Is she pretty? Is she like really? Is she really pretty?
She's middle-aged. She's not exceptionally beautiful, but she's,
Okay.
she's got that sort of conventional, upper class beauty.
Yeah, my dear, like he's not interested in that kind of way. He's all yours, Roderick.
I'll just say that Roderick finds beauty in everybody. Everybody has a light that needs to shine.
Beautiful.
And he thinks that Her Majesty does have a great light inside of her.
She is totally enamored with you at this point, and she sort of she just continues sort of staring at you fantastically again, and she eventually sort of snaps back and goes, "Oh yes, that's right." And she puts her fan down and goes, please enjoy your meal, and the rest of the festivities, of course. I think I need a moment." And she stands up and goes to head out of the dining room. But before she does, she says, if you could all enjoy your meal, of course, and once you've finished, if you could deal with the little matter we spoke of, that would be utterly delightful.
Yeah, I mean, my axes are yours as far as I'm concerned.
Wonderful. And she proceeds to head on out of the dining hall.
Wow,
She's a very bizarre woman.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Congratulations, Roderick, on a successful seduction.
Well, thank you. But we have other pressing matters that we must attend to. I'll press something else a bit later on.
Oh.
These outsiders, it sounds very suspicious in regards to hexes and charms.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit concerned.
Go about.
I offer myself as a pawn. I will go in your place, Roderick. And if you don't see me again, if you do see me again, but I am not on your side, slay me in cold blood. I don't care.
That way.
Anything for you.
That is not necessary right now, my loyal friend.
Take the knee.
That will not be necessary as of right now, but you will be needed. I suggest that we all get we finish our soup, and we prepare to meet these fiends and ruffians, and again we can negotiate if we must, but let's prepare to negotiate with our fists and with our blades.
And with our sporks.
That's right.
And with our vials.
Rodney, I'm not fisting anyone. I'm really sorry.
Okay, so I just polish my spork and put it in my pocket, along with my various other things.
Wonderful. So you do exactly that. You finish up your soup and you give your nice, rather fancy-looking golden spork a bit of a polish, and you put it away safely. The rest of you then, you enjoy the meal. It's very nicely prepared. It's probably one of the most delicious meals you've had in quite some time.
Did we all get buffs from it?
No, but you do feel nice and full and content.
That's fine.
Damnation itself, we will not be at tip-top condition if we feel full and satisfied. We must walk briskly.
Yes,
to
let's go for a
digest
walk.
such a meal.
I'll just start doing jumping jacks.
Alright, so you immediately start doing jumping jacks to try and help
That is right. Right, let's do this. I start doing jumping jacks to try and aid the digestive process.
Very well. You do
But it's
exactly
like,
that.
it's because I'm really heavy. It's like stomp, like boom, boom, boom.
The table sort of jitters every time you land. You can hear the clanging of metal and glass each time you jump.
Is there any after dinner coffee? Because I feel that would help with my digestion.
You could certainly request some, yes.
Please. I take a dark espresso, thank you.
So you
A double.
you express out to one of the waiters that are waiting at the sides of the room. You express that you would like a coffee, and they bring you. They actually have cafetières off to the side with coffee in them, and they bring one over, and they make one freshly in front of you with the ground coffee beans and some hot water in it, and they press down the top and then pour you a nice fresh coffee.
Amazing. I bang it straight back, bruv.
It
Oh
is
my-
delicious. Some of the finest coffee.
Are there any almond biscuits?
There are not almond biscuits, no.
Are there biscuits of any kind?
Yes, there are wheat biscuits there.
I pat Gianth on the back. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, giant.
Gianth. I pat Gianth on the back and I say, they're not truly almond biscuits,
No.
but here,
This
I minor illusion that they look like almond biscuits.
They almost smell like almond biscuits.
Any
I'm
sensory thing I can do to make them look and taste and smell like almond biscuits, I will.
I was just going to take a handful of the biscuits or cookies and put them in my pack. Is that okay?
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Sick. Oh, I'm going to put 5 in my biscuits. Fake almond. 5.
Mark. What type of time is it?
It's sort of coming into the evening. The sun hasn't quite started to set yet, but it's sort of reaching that point.
Are we... How far travel-wise, time-wise, before we would get to the edge of the town to encounter these guys?
From the keep, it would only take you maybe 15 minutes walk to get. They're outside
cool.
of town, so you're just sort of walking from the sort of the centralmost part of the town just to the outskirts. Not that long.
Fabulous. Fine, so we don't need to have a night's sleep. I stand up and I push myself away from the table, and I'm Rook. Prepare my steed. We must go and meet these men. Bring.
I flip my cape over my shoulder. Yes, my lord.
Prepare my weapons, and we must set off. Gareth, Jackoff, Fane. I hope that you enjoyed your meals, but
I'm not there.
I should say Fane is
Fane.
not there. You don't
Fane?
actually know Fane yet. My apologies.
okay.
I should have clarified that.
That's
you don't
fine.
know Fane.
Can I get a doggy bag for my soup, please?
can someone get Jackoff a doggy bag? He needs to take soup in a bag.
Or just wrap it in pigskin and I'll have it later.
He'll wrap it in pigskin and save it for later.
There's no need, Roderick.
Thanks,
I will be
Roderick.
your echoing voice.
The help
You
looking
heard the
around are
man.
confused, and one of them sort of literally runs out of the room, and a moment later comes back with like a leather pouch and brings it over to Jackoff and sort of crouches down to sort of be sort of in that respectful, bringing their head level below yours, which is quite difficult when you're facing a kobold. But he does it as best he can.
I'm 2 foot tall.
He's virtually lying on the ground at this point. And he hands you this leather pouch and just says, I hope this will suffice for your soup, Lord.
Thanks. And I just kind of pour it in the pouch. And
It
just
is
kind of
not
tie it.
watertight. It is seeping.
That's fine. I tie it up and throw it over my shoulder. You're a star, you are. You need a raise.
As you sling it over your shoulder, some of it splashes out of the bottom of it from the centrifugal force, and it skites all up the wall behind you and actually hits one of the waiters, covering them. But you have a bag for now of soup.
You're a wonderful chap, you are. Right, Rodney, where are we off to?
Yeah.
We are off to the outskirts of the town, as described by Her Majesty, whose name I forgot, and we...
It's just a notch in your
Morwen
bed.
Daggerford. I'm not there. Pardon me. I'm outside.
It's just a notch in your bedpost.
Lady Daggerford, right.
I'm gonna walk
yes.
up to Giant and tug his trouser leg and go, "Gee man, do you mind giving me a lift?
Yeah. So
I've only got wee legs."
I reach down, grab him by the scruff of his neck, and throw him onto my back with his legs on my neck, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not going
like
to
I would
ask
a
you to make a
baby.
check. He's small enough. You're a barbarian. That's fine. You pick him up like a child and you sling him onto your shoulders.
Let's go, little man.
As you do, more of the soup sloshes out of the bottom of the bag and starts to drip down your back.
He doesn't. I don't care. Like whatever.
Just to be safe, that's not my wee.
It's nice and warm. Oh. And I've got
What a
pocket
party this is.
I love
What
it.
a party
This
this
is
is.
gonna
I
be
love it.
amazing.
I gruntishly just sort of like walk off. I've still got like my like napkin tucked in, and it's sort of like pulled away at the table, like putting off plates and
Yeah, exactly that. You're in such a haste to get up. You don't untuck the tablecloth that you're using as a napkin, and you pull half the table's worth of crockery onto the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And I just storm off! Waiting for Rook and my horse!
The tablecloth actually drags with you for several feet before it gets caught under your feet and then gets pulled out of your tunic.
Amazing.
Oh.
Completely
I am waiting
to it. Like I'm ignorant. I'm just like blasé. Like go.
Yes, straight ahead.
Yeah.
It's like 40 hours.
Material possessions do not matter.
Not for a booty call, anyway. Do anything.
So the three of you head outside, where you can see Rook in the process of, or rather, finishing up, preparing his master's equipment. He's got everything ready. You have his sword ready, and yes.
I am the picture of efficiency because my lord requires it of me that I be just incredibly efficient and get everything done as soon as he needs it done. And so the horses are ready, and your equipment is all ready, of course, my lord Roderick.
Excellent work, Rook. Yes, I see that Rosie has been fed efficiently. He is looking healthy and ready to ride out. And you've brushed his mane wonderfully. Thank you.
Do we all have horses? Because
yes, great. You all have horses.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Get a horse.
Yes.
You get a horse.
Does like the Queen like let us use hers or something?
Well, yeah, you've been working for Duchess Morwen for months. You will have had horses by this point.
Okay, let's go.
I got a G-man. I don't need a horse.
Yes, you just ride on Giant's shoulders as he rides a horse.
Yeah, but it's like I'm nearly as big as the horse.
It's
not
really
weird. This poor little horse.
You actually, it's not so much a horse that you're riding, so much as a mule, just to compensate for your sheer size.
Or one of those massive British ones, I can't remember.
Oh, a big draft horse.
Shire horse.
Yeah.
Shire horse.
Yeah.
Is it the case? Is it the case that his legs are so long that like he has to hold up his feet so that they don't drag on the ground?
Yeah.
No, well, not quite.
If his
only
feet are
8.5
feet,
feet.
they're almost in his chest. His knees are almost in his chest.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Is it like when like an 8-year-old tried to ride a Labrador?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. It.
Perfect.
So
with a rat, with a kobold man on my shoulder.
Yeah. So with your equipment gathered, your steeds mounted, you steel yourselves for one final task in the Duchess's name. You trot gallantly toward the outskirts of the city, toward these other strange people that have showed up on the borders of Daggerford. And since you're on horseback, it's much quicker. After sort of maybe 5 to 10 minutes, you can see this encampment in the distance. As the evening grows dark, you can see a dozen men and women gathered around a crackling bonfire. The folk seem to be in good spirits. A few of them sing and dance around the fire, while others find happiness in their flasks and wineskins. 3 barrel-topped wagons are parked at odd angles, and tied to a nearby tree, grazing, are half a dozen draft horses wearing bright coats with bangles and tassels.
Rook.
Oh, he's on the horses still.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my lord.
As we approach, I want you to hoist my banner, and I would also like you to play Roderick's theme, please, as we are approaching.
Absolutely, my lord, as you request. I hoist his banner. I take out my lute so that I can kind of like, and I'm kind of play it with one hand as I hold this banner up. And I suppose I will give a go at what the Roderick's theme song is. Roderick, Fortier de la Cour, he's coming here to murder your enemies and sleep with all your dames. Roderick de la Cour, he's knight to the realm, the first of his name, and everyone should kiss his boots. Ha!
It's dinner and the show as I'm sipping on the soup that's in the bag.
Are you supping it through the bottom where it's seeping out? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I have no idea.
Little bits of it drip down onto your head now and then.
Well, although it is quite catchy, and I've now got it stuck in my head.
And in your hair as well.
I mean the song stuck in my head.
I'm on about the soup.
So as you approach this encampment, banner hoisted, praises sung to the heavens. Several of the people at the encampment sort of stop what they're doing and look at you. You can see, sort of sat near the bonfire, seems to be a slightly older gentleman. He's wearing a sort of long robe. It's sort of dark green in color and looks to be made of some sort of fine, almost silk-looking material. There's a hood attached to it, but he currently has the hood down, and his hair, he's quite thinned out, dark grey hair and quite a long grey beard. And one of the other younger men approaches him, and he leans down and whispers something to him. And you can then see the older gentleman sort of turn and look to you all as he sort of starts stroking his beard, just tugging on it. And he turns back to the younger gentleman, whispers something to him, and then turns his attention back to you all. And he shouts over. Hello there! Would you like to come and take a seat?
Rook, announce us.
It would be my pleasure, my lord. Truly. I dismount and I roll out a little scroll. And I say, announcing Roderick Fortier de la Cour, Knight of the Realm, first of his name, beloved of the monarchy, and hero to the masses. And also, Jackoff and Gianth.
Hello.
Excellent.
He's sort of,
welcome.
speaking to one of the younger people. He seems to be gesturing toward you all while speaking to him.
In the name of the Lady Duchess, Morwen Daggerford, we have come to parley.
At this point, I'm going to dismount from my tiny horse and stand up next to it.
Well, how about instead of
Jack on my back.
parleying, you come and take a seat? There's more to discuss than parleying.
Without my lord's permission, I will not take a seat, nor will I kneel, nor will I do anything.
Oh, come. There's no need for titles and formality here. Come, have a drink.
No need for titles or formality? What kind of heathen barbarism is this?
I lean into Rook and I say, "Look, Rook, it's all right. It's okay. Don't worry. Roderick is not of nobility. He is a pauper himself, and he is from the common folk, and he's like, okay, Roderick, Rook is fine. This is how we will conduct ourselves. We will reason with our minds and our hearts rather than with our brawn." And I step down from my horse and I say, "Well, thank you." I tell my comrades to follow, and I ask, I say, "I am Roderick. I am here on behalf of Lady Daggerford. Your name, please. Who have I got the pleasure of meeting?"
I am known amongst my people as Stanimir.
Stanimir.
He picks up a goblet from he's sitting on like a makeshift log bench. He picks up a goblet that's set beside him, and he turns it toward the younger gentleman beside him, and sort of gestures with it. The younger gentleman then pours wine into it, and he hands it toward you, Roderick. Says, "Take a seat."
My lord. my lord.
It's
Perhaps I should test it.
Jack, do you want to stay up there or get down?
Actually, can I stretch my legs as I kind of stand up and I stand? No, I stand on your shoulder and lean on your head.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'd like to use divine sense.
Okay.
Just to switch it on as an action, and I can use my senses. I can feel the presence of strong evil, like a noxious odor. So I'd like to use that as an action, please, just sort of kind of get an idea of what kind of energy I'm getting at the moment.
So you pulse off your design sense, and almost like an internal radar system, it pings out, and it returns no cause for concern.
I think he's cool, man. I think we should find out what he wants, why he's here.
Yeah, I'm going to be polite, and I take a sip of the wine, and I say thank you very much.
He nods to you as you do, and he has a second glass poured from the same wineskin, and he begins to drink it himself.
Excellent. I make him aware that we have been sent here on business, and that we understand that people have been sent to speak to him before, and I'd like him to explain what happened when guards have been sent previously, and to ask how they felt and what happened after at that point.
As you express all that, he sort of he takes another sip from the wine, and he just do not worry. We have no wish to make enemies of Lady Morwen. Her guards came to us, and they partook in our festivities much as I invite you to. There was no trickery. But if she so strongly desires that we leave, then we will leave. We are not here for a fight. We merely are looking for, well, I suppose people like yourselves.
At which point, I step to the side of Roderick and knock the glass out of his hand and said, "Do not drink that. Do not drink that."
The glass that Roderick's holding.
Well, yeah, the goblet. I just knock it out of his hand. They do not drink any more of that.
As you do, Stanimir just sort of looks at the spilled wine and just... Such a shame to see wine soaking into the dirt. But I understand we are strange.
Something happened to those soldiers. They didn't come back the same.
He takes another drink from the goblet of wine that he has. He says, "Look, I have no quarrel with any of you. In fact, by the looks of you all, perhaps... Well, why don't you listen to a tale first?"
Sure, I'll listen to you.
Please, come, take a seat.
But at this point, I go, sorry, Roderick. I had to rush. Didn't want to splash wine on you.
Like Roderick's
I'm
like
trying to look
cool with
after
it.
you.
Yeah, like Roderick's like, look, I'm trying to sweet talk the guy first. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a little sip of the wine. Oh, I'm not going to drink much of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like when somebody hands you like a canapé at a dinner party, and it's like, oh yeah, thanks, like that. You're like, like that. You don't really want it. Like, be polite.
You do the bare minimum to be polite.
Yeah, that's all I am. Like,
I was just like overtly just. My mind was like, there's something there. Something's not right.
That's fair.
My
So
instinct.
he starts sort of swirling the goblet of wine that he has, and he says, "Please, the rest of you, take a seat. Your companion there as well, and the small red one. And if you so desire, partake in some of the alcoholic drinks that we have available. If you don't want to, you do not have to. That is fine. I understand. But please, make yourselves comfortable."
Sure, I'll take a knee next to the fire or whatever, but I'm not going to sit down.
I'll jump off your shoulder.
I ask Rook to come and sit with us.
I, of course, obey.
I will not be using you as a footrest today, Rook. You may sit with me.
Sir, I would much rather stand behind you at a comfortable distance where I can oversee what is going on and shatter anybody who who looks too suspicious. But if you require that I sit next to you, of course I will agree.
I tap. I'm assuming there's going to be like some kind of log or something that was sat by.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple of these sort of makeshift log benches around the fire.
I sit next to Roderick and I whisper to him, and I say, I can't really shatter anything yet, but there's no reason for these people to know that.
So as you seat yourselves, Stanimir continues swirling the goblet of wine. And once he talks about this, the story that he's going to start telling, a couple of the other people from the encampment come and sit down, and you can hear them mumbling. You know, they're talking to each other, calling each other over, saying, he's going to tell the story, he's going to tell it. And many of them come and sit down to listen. And everything sort of goes almost eerily quiet. He stops swirling the goblet of wine and peers at it for a moment. He takes a drink from it, and then spits it into the fire. The flames turn from orange to green. As they dance and sway, a dark shape appears in the bonfire's core. We come from an ancient land, whose name is long forgotten. A land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The dark shape in the fire takes the form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. Stanimir continues. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with our wine. He survived. When we asked him who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home. But we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back toward his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince. Yet, we did not give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves. Deep in the bonfire, you see the dark figure standing with the sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect us as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers. Stanimir's face becomes a sober mask. A curse has befallen our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain, and we have traveled far and wide to find heroes such as yourselves to end our dreadlord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, Madame Eva, knows all. Will you return to Barovia with us and speak with her?
This sounds like a very harrowing tale, and I thank him for telling the story. I, from my past, have an inkling that this could benefit me from hearing this tale, and I've heard these tales before, and Rook knows of my past as well. So my interest is very piqued tonight, and without even consulting with Jakoff or Giant, quite selfishly, I say I will return tomorrow and speak with what's her name again?
Madam Eva.
Madam Eva.
When
Yeah.
you agree, he stands up, he drops his goblet of wine, and he puts a hand on either side of your shoulders, and he says, "Thank you."
However,
Touch my lord.
however, I say to him, I still have work that needs to be done because I am a man of my word. If I come and speak with Madam Eva tomorrow, I must ask you that you leave this land on request of Lady Daggerford in due course and in a timely manner.
I will. How about this? You return to do what you must this evening. We will wait here. We will pack our things up tonight. And you come back here and meet us tomorrow morning. And we will bring you in our wagons. And we will bring you to Madam Eva. She is not here with us.
Excellent. I put my hand out to shake his hand. And I say to, will you put your hand on that?
He reaches out and grabs your hand, and despite his age, has quite a firm grasp, and he says, "You have my word on it. Thank you."
Excellent. I turn to Jack and Giant, and I apologise straight away. And I explain to them that if this is something that they don't want to be part of, then I completely understand. But I have my own reasons why I need to do this, and speak with them tomorrow.
I say to, what's the name of the guy? Sorry,
Stanimir.
Yeah, that's it. I say to Stanimir that your story is intriguing, and it sounds like your people are in dire need, and it sounds like a noble cause, and I will happily seek the closure that you require with Roderick and Rook.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go. I ain't got much else to do, I don't think. But yeah.
Well, whatever your reason, be it out of boredom or for potential reward, your efforts are much appreciated. You're a kobold, right?
I just kind of look at myself. I think so.
Well, thank you, young dragonkin.
Imagine me as a dragon. Actually, don't do that. Don't do that.
You'd need a proportionally sized soup bag.
Yeah.
Seems to get a little bit crazy making that.
I just realised that I had a water skin I could have lent him. It's too
Look,
Work
man.
better.
I
I'm pretty
realised
sure everyone has a water skin, so anything would have been better.
I take a swig from my water skin. I just look at it, touch my back, carry on drinking a water skin.
Purely out of curiosity, do kobolds have their own language?
I don't
They
recall.
speak Dragonborn.
Oh,
as a
Draconic.
second language.
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Got it.
I get the goblet of wine and I pour it in the same bag.
Okay.
Soup wine. Perfect.
Yeah.
Is it still warm?
Yeah, it's lukewarm at this point.
Oh.
I look at Rodney and go, "What?"
Meanwhile, I just eat a biscuit.
Okay, yeah, you eat this biscuit. And it doesn't fully taste like an almond biscuit, but it kind of has that aftertaste a little bit.
Yeah.
The illusory magic seems to have done something to it.
Yeah, we should probably forgive me, my lord. I do not mean to speak out of turn. Perhaps it would be good if we could talk in private before we decide to go on this. Before the morning, and before we go to. I'll stop talking. Oh, he's gone. That was quite impressive, actually. I don't know how that.
What the hell? I'm not the only one saw that. He was
I'm
there.
so glad that it got filmed. I'm so glad that was filmed.
That was good.
He was there.
It was really good.
He's completely gone.
Okay.
Yeah, speak on his behalf for now.
But yeah, the plan is that we'll go back and we'll spend the night and then we'll go in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And we tell the Duchess that.
Well, that will be up to the Lord Roderick. If it would impede his ability to get lucky, I think it's best to tell her in the morning as we leave.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say anything, but that's a fantastic idea, Rookie. Honestly,
I'm so glad that I have your approval, Jackoff. And Giant, I wanted to thank you for prioritizing the Lord's safety by knocking the wine out of his
instinct.
hand.
It's okay.
I appreciate it. Anybody who has the safety of my Lord in mind is a friend.
Indeed.
All right.
We look after.
So, and at your various paces, you gather yourselves up and you make your way back to the keep. It's been about maybe the guts of an hour in total, I suppose, from you left the keep. You arrive back, and as you step in through its grand front doors, you can see the Duchess is just walking down the main hallway.
I am going to approach her, and I will drop to one knee, and I put my hand out to take her hand, and I say, my lady, the work has been done. These outsiders will leave in the morning, but I bear other bad news. I must leave in the morning too.
She allows you to take her hand, and once again she pulls out that fan and just, oh Roderick, what a surprise! Oh, it's such a shame to hear that you must leave come the morrow, but a man such as yourself always has duty to attend to.
Indeed. I kiss her hand and I say, it has been an honour serving you, my lady, and there will be nothing stopping me from coming back to feeling your warmth, touch again.
The music playing behind you.
I excitedly wait in anticipation for the day that you return, Sir Roderick.
Why, thank you. So I bring myself back up and I bow. I'm going to ask Rook to stop his duties for the evening, and he can now have some downtime for himself. Before we travel in the morning, but I'll need him to do my alarm for me bright and early to come and wake me up. So.
Oh, good. For a moment, I floundered, not having any duties.
So I'm gonna pick up Jack, put him on my shoulder. I'm gonna walk up to behind Roderick and Rook and say, "These people, they need our help. So we've all agreed that we will leave in the morning with them."
Aye.
The one thing that I would like to bring up, my lord, I know how much this means to you. We should at least discuss the fact that the man did say that nobody could leave whatever place that they came from. They said they were the only ones who could leave. And I perfectly mimic his voice back and replay exactly what he said.
That always creeps me out, you know that.
I don't know how he does that.
The human dictaphone.
Oh, yeah, it's part and parcel of any bard training.
I have a feeling that we will be able to find a way. There's always going to be a way.
Roderick turns to Jack and Jonathan, sort of empathetically explains that I had to make that decision for myself, and I am absolutely overwhelmed that you want to accompany me on this quest. And in time, I can perhaps explain my reasons for this. And I explain that they are both excellent and loyal.
You can't get rid of me that easily.
No. Go on, sorry.
I have my own reasons to want to help anyone in need, because I was in need once myself, so it just comes naturally.
For a man with soup down his back, I find you tremendously inspiring.
Actually, that's not soup. I could not hold it in.
Magnificent use of a qualifier, as always, my lord.
So I kind of take off my leather like strap and just like flap it on the floor, and then put it back on and like.
As you do that, the Duchess sort of looks rather stunned.
I did it away. I didn't do it at her.
Away, but she just sort of seems to do that. She's sort of, that's quite all right. We'll have someone.
It's just soup. It's just soup.
It's like a soupy, whiny, pissy Jackson Pollock sort of.
Anyway, Rodney, do you need protection? And I pour out the contents of the pigskin on the floor and hand him the pigskin.
Ace, thanks, bruv. I'll take that. I bring Rook in. I say, Rook, can you just come a little bit closer? The kobold, he keeps addressing me as Rodney. I'm going to delegate you the task of trying to get him to address me as Roderick at some point. If you can sort of maybe have a quiet word with him. And
Understood, my lord. How quiet would you like this word?
You do how you see fit, but just don't make a show of it, and just be thoughtful, because he probably thinks it's okay, and he probably thinks it's all right. But if you could just have a word, that'd be great.
So not so quiet that I'm not speaking and in fact holding a knife up to his throat.
That won't be necessary. But if it, one of those things, when you're stood around the water cooler and you just say, "Hey, you know who hates being called Rodney? Lord Roderick." if you could say that would be great.
My lord, I think I understand. Absolutely, I have this task well in hand. I think you should have a good evening and leave me to my duties.
Now, you're promising me that you're not going to just write out my name all night on paper, are you? That is not what you're going to be doing in your downtime.
My lord! After the first incident where you slapped my wrist very thoroughly, on that subject, I would never dream of doing so again.
Very good, very good. Rook, I'm requiring you, like I said earlier, just to make sure that we're all up and ready to leave first thing in the morning.
Of course, my lord.
Thank you.
By this point, some of the keep's help has sort of gathered around you and is mopping up the various fluids that have found their way onto the floor.
Oh no! Sorry about that.
About time.
Old wives' tale: if you put white wine on red wine, it gets rid of the stain.
Do you say that to one of the people mopping? So it's just that this quite a young woman. She's dressed in a very typical maid outfit. She's on her hands and knees, bucket beside her, rag in her hand, mopping it up. And you say that to her, and she looks up at you, and her initial look has this sort of, for God's sake. But she immediately goes into a smile because she knows she's not allowed to be rude to you all. And she goes, wonderful piece of advice, Lord. I will bear that in mind. And proceeds to continue mopping.
So
everyone's happy here. What's going on?
At this point, I have to walk away. I have to leave the area, and I kind of walk to the other side of the. Are we in the main hall kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like courtyard. Okay.
It's like a big foyer, basically.
So I walk over to one of the other servants and ask if they have a quill and a piece of paper.
Yeah, so there's a servant just sort of standing pretty much in every room you go into in this keep. There's a servant, usually dressed in a sort of, butler's attire, sort of standing there ready to take an order. Even if there's no one else in the room, they're still stood there waiting to receive an order.
Jeez. Okay,
So,
I'll ask the nearest servant if
yeah.
I can have a pen and a piece of paper or quill, I guess.
Yeah. So you do exactly that. You ask the butler in the foyer. You ask him for a quill and some parchment, and he just yes, right away, lord. And he just one of the help that's cleaning the floor stands up and runs over to him, and the butler issues the request to them, and they run off, and the butler then turns to you and says, "You shall have your required items in just a moment."
Thank you. I will. I'll thank you when I get them again.
She's flush, isn't she? If she can afford to have someone just stood around, like for pen and paper, she's got a bit of coin, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that ain't the reason why Roderick is, doing what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, my giant is thinking of his half elf maiden back home and trying not to look at the waitresses as they bend over, mop the floor.
Just take a leaf out of my book.
Well, no, I can't. I can't. I'm a sucker for a pretty face. Let's just put it that way. So I get. Do I add it? Can I add? Yeah, I'll add it to my inventory. I'm going to take the quill and start writing a letter, like leant against a pillar.
Okay.
Like. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
Cool. No, I'm going to wait for anything I want to do until Roderick has retired.
Yeah, I'm well and duly off to Bedfordshire now. I trot up. I say goodnight, everybody, and in the morning we will continue this.
You each have your own rooms in the keep over the last couple of months because you've been repeatedly helping her. She has given you your own rooms within the keep. So you know where they are and you have your own keys to them.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm going to put myself to bed. So
I'm going to retire as well.
I open up the door to my room. It goes, God, they cleaned it again. I told them to not clean my room. I like it to smell.
And it's not there is this almost sort of citrusy smell in it at the minute, where they seem to have sort of washed things down with perhaps lemon infused water. To anyone else, it would be quite pleasant.
Yeah, but I take it like as a kobold, you kind of mark your
You mark your territory.
Yeah, you mark your territory.
You walk to the corner of the room and lift one leg.
Start. All over the place.
Do kobolds have like the same sort of marking system as like alligators and stuff like that, because that's a mixture of urine and fecal matter, isn't it?
Sort of press their back end against the wall and rub.
Suddenly I start to feel a bit more honoured that he did that on my back.
It's my G-man.
So each of you return to your rooms. So we'll go around to each of you, and you can say what you sort of do before you turn in for the evening. So we'll start off with Jack off, since you had started.
Sorry, I literally missed the last part there.
Oh, just
describe how you
go ahead and say what is Jack off
Okay.
before retiring.
I take off my bits and pieces. I kind of I clamber up. I'm assuming I would have requested a ladder of some description to get into my bed. The bed is obviously massive in comparison to myself. Yeah. I tuck myself under the duvet. I sink myself into the pillow and go, yeah, that's it. He's just going to go to sleep.
All right. Yeah, fair enough.
Brilliant.
So we'll go then to Rook.
I go into my own chambers and I put my loot down. I take out my sword and I put it down, and I kind of sniff to myself. I go, all right. I go over to the mirror and I morph my face and body to look exactly like Jackoff. I'd like to go to the wardrobe and try to find the closest approximation to what Jackoff would be wearing to bed.
Okay.
Don those. Exit my room. Go over to Jackoff's room. I try to open the door.
Would Jackoff have locked his door before going to sleep?
I mean, he probably wouldn't have been able to reach the lock, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I very briefly become tall enough to turn the doorknob and then go back down.
Fair enough.
I want to go in to Jackoff's room, looking exactly like him and sounding exactly like him, and just stand next to, clamber up and just kind of like next to his ear, start whispering in his ear, you hate calling Lord Roderick Lord Rodney. You hate calling Lord Roderick.
Now this is an interesting point. Does my alert feat kick off?
Remind me again of the exact wording of the alert feat, because that is a very good question.
I will pull it up.
I think we might have an alert versus actor feat going on.
So I have a question. Would he even know who Lord Roderick is since he thinks he's Rodney? So it's like, who's Roderick?
Good question.
No, it's when I'm conscious. So obviously being asleep,
okay.
I'm unconscious.
Okay. Okay. And I'd like to do that for about an hour.
That is dedication. Okay.
And then I will return to my chamber as Breen Lad. Get a servant to give me quill and ink. I will also write a letter.
All right.
I would like my letter to go to the bishop in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
Just informing the bishop that I will be out of communication range for a certain amount of time, and with any luck, we'll come back with an offering for all of the what's the word I'm looking for? That the bishop has. The bishop has for the congregation.
Okay.
And the little thing I say is I've started to write a new song. It's called Wine Soaking in the Dirt.
Very good.
Send that off, and then I'll go to bed.
All right, wonderful stuff. All right, so then we'll flick over to Roderick.
I think this would be a good chance to describe what he looks like as well, actually, because he goes into his chambers and he is wearing what used to be like full plate armor, but you can see that it's been like modified and taken away in some areas. So he's got like more of a guard on one shoulder where his shield will be fitted. His gauntlets have been replaced, and he has now leather gloves as they're more like agile and maneuverable. And his full plate kind of just goes down to his knees rather than his shins, and he's got like leather boots. His armor is like a bronzy kind of copper where it's quite old, and you can tell that it's not been seen to for a while. And he has a tabard, which is like the like one color top left hand corner and bottom right hand corner, and then another color on the other, like adjacent, of dark red and dark blue with fleur-de-lis on the blue and like lines on the red. Yeah, and he hasn't got a helmet, but he's got like a chainmail sort of hood,
Like a cloth.
Oh yes, well done. And a neck guard and all that kind of stuff. He takes off his armor, and the dude looks like Tom Selleck, basically. Got a nice thick moustache, you know, sort of like rugged. and he's at the wash basin at the mirror, sort of like just giving himself a wash, and looking like very like within himself, and he's looking at himself in the mirror, and it's like, this could be the first step of things coming back to normal again. And then he just works out, starts doing press ups and stuff like that, and then just lays on his bed, and he is kind of like wide awake, kind of with not excitement, but you know, what he's heard tonight has, you know, sort of injected something into him that has really got him sort of, you know, sort of like aware and alert, and he's ready to for tomorrow, and he's kind of wants to get on with it, and that's it.
All right. About maybe sort of 15-20 minutes into your workout, you see a little piece of parchment gets slipped in under your door.
Oh. I walk over after seeing the paper, and I pick it up, and I would like to read it.
So you pick up the piece of paper, and it has a little makeshift wax seal. It's not too formal, but it's just a little drop of wax on it, just to, you know, so none of the servants could pry into it. You break the seal open, and you read it, and it's a letter from the Duchess, and it says the following. It just says, "Dear Roderick, it is with much regret that I must inform you that I will not be able to visit you in your chambers this evening. It seems that business has called me away. However, I will wait for your return from your mighty quest that you are to embark upon in the morrow. And once you return, we shall celebrate ferociously."
Excellent use of ferociously.
Yeah, man.
Really excellent.
Like Roderick gives like a, oh, yeah, very good, yes, and kind of slips into a daydream for a second, recalling previous encounters, and then he just snaps back in again and like, yes, yeah, and then just folds the paper up and sort of puts it safely on the side.
Very good. You can also see
Talking of sex pests.
Our remaining player is joining us. Can you hear us?
I can. I was waiting for you. I was sitting waiting for the message from I sent earlier to say whether to join or what. That was all.
Apologies, I hadn't seen it. We're actually just about to do the intermission.
All right, okay.
Shortly.
I can wait. It's fine. It's no problem.
Yeah, you can hang about there. It's only going to be a few moments until we do that, and then we'll get, because as I said, I missed.
I was listening in anyway. I was just I thought, I'll actually click the button to join you, but
fair enough. So yeah, as well as the note, you can see sticking in from under the doorway seems to be a little corner piece of fabric.
Oh, no.
I pull tentatively on the fabric.
You pull it in, and it is the lady's handkerchief.
Oh.
Potty.
Lawrence was like, "What?"
I thought that was going to be like
dirty knickknacks.
Yeah,
bro.
She is a classy lady.
Yeah,
albeit that she likes to celebrate ferociously. She is a classy lady. And on the handkerchief is written in ink. Obviously, it's sort of bled a little bit as it does with fabric, but it just says in her own handwriting. It says a token of my affection, and there's a little lipstick imprint of her on the handkerchief.
Excellent. Yeah, I will store that safely with the letter in my pouch, and yeah, I then sort of like snap back into it and finish my workout.
Wonderful stuff.
Excellent.
And we shall then go to Gianth.
So he's wandering around in the courtyard, trying to find his way back to his room, whilst kind of concentrating on writing the letter.
Okay.
He eventually does find his way back there, and then he sits on his windowsill and finishes writing, and he's writing his reply to his girlfriend from back home, who he hasn't seen in a very long time. I suppose this is a good time to actually describe what he looks like as well.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the best to describe him. He's 8.5 foot tall, and I mean like ripped. Like we're talking 100% fully natural, like absolute beast.
Definition of beefcake.
Yeah. He's got green war paint in stripes going around like his eyes and down to his neck. He's got pale blue skin and long white slick back hair. Kind of imagine the guy from Witcher 3, that kind of hair. He's got a bright blue and pink leather tunic with a leather jacket over the top. No armor. He's got 2 massive axes, like great axes, on his back, which obviously he unsheaths, puts on the floor, and then that's it. He just retires to bed after he's finished writing his letter.
All right. So you finish writing your letter. You fold it up. Do you put it away in a bag, or do you leave it out like on the table?
I fold it up and put it in the front pocket of his tunic.
His tunic, no problem.
Yeah.
And then you retire for the evening.
Yeah.
So that the hours pass on, and you all gain a long rest. Not that there's much benefit to be had at this point. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Curse of Strahd as presented by Hidden Realms. Stick around for the rest of the series, coming soon. And don't forget you can catch us live every Saturday at 7 p.m. BST on Twitch. Links in the description below. Until next time, stay safe.